The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine trial is one of 11 in phase 3 right now, with hopes of producing a vaccine before the end of the year. 30,000 volunteers are participating, and Ashley Nealy is one of them. She's joining us this morning from Atlanta, Georgia. Nice to see you again, Ashley.
Hi, nice to see you again, too.
Well, you have now received, as of now, 2 doses of the vaccine, one in August, one in September. Tell us about side effects you might have experienced.
Yeah, so I did have some side effects after my first dose. I actually woke up the next morning and I felt really fatigued, more tired than normal. I had body aches, I was sweating, and I had a loss of appetite, too.
Were you nervous when you, or scared even when you started to experience the side effects?
No, I actually wasn't, because they give you good documentation before. And so they listed all the possible side effects you could have if you had actually got the vaccine. And they also said that you probably wouldn't have any side effects if you had the placebo. So I was expecting to have some side effects.
People watching from home might be wondering, why would anyone willingly put themselves potentially to be receiving a virus so that we can find a vaccine in the midst of a pandemic? Why did you enter the trial?
Yeah, so I entered the trial for 2 main reasons. One, Dr. Fauci had said that there cannot be a vaccine produced without African Americans and minorities participating in the trial. So I figured I could help make a difference and sign up to make that work. And of course, I'm like everyone else. I really want this pandemic to end. So any way I can help lend myself to making this go away, I want to do that.
Are you afraid of becoming sick with COVID-19?
I'm not as afraid anymore. Of course, this is a blinded study, so they can't tell you if you have the vaccine or the placebo. But I'm really hopeful that I have the vaccine because of my side effects. So I'm still taking all the precautions. I'm still wearing a mask and washing my hands because you're just not too sure. But I'm hopeful that it's working as everyone hopes it does, and that we won't get COVID from the vaccine.
Now, this vaccine trial doesn't end when they find a vaccine. You are actually enrolled in this for 2 years. So when you were on our show a couple of weeks ago, you're part of a young voter panel. You said then you were participating because of a mistrust in within the Black community towards clinical trials. What's your experience been like so far?
Yeah, so that mistrust is still really real. I talk to a lot of people who don't understand why I would put myself at risk and go through something like that because of the bad history we've had with medicines, the Tuskegee Project, Henrietta Lacks. And I don't think that we can have good representation in science unless we are stepping up to the plate. And I also think there have been some advances made in science, but of course, we still have a long way to go to make sure people of color are treated fairly.
Ashley, I'm going to ask you just some basic questions because I'm so curious. How does it work? So do you go in? What does the room look like? How long are you there? Where do they do the injection? All of those things.
Yeah, so it's actually it's a long process. So the first day that you go, you expect to be there around 3 to 4 hours, and they take your normal vital signs, such as your height and weight, your temperature, of course. They ask you what medications you're on, and then you kind of go through a series of checks from there. If you are a woman like me, you have to make sure you have a pregnancy test because you're not allowed to get pregnant during a study. I tell everyone the worst part of this whole trial was actually giving the COVID test, because that's when they shove it up your nose, and that's probably the most painful experience I've had. Yeah, they also draw your blood and then they give you the shot. I could barely feel the shot. And then to make sure that you're okay, they make you wait for about 30 minutes after receiving the injection so that to confirm that you don't have a reaction to it.
Ashley, are your family nervous to be around you, or any of your friends, because you could potentially have the virus?
No, so they're not nervous at all. And I think what's special about this particular vaccine is it's actually not made with the live virus, such as we have like the flu vaccines and other ones. So this is not actually made with the synthetic protein. So they're not afraid. And I think they actually kind of feel more comfortable being around me since I could possibly have the vaccine.
All right, Ashley, good to see you again. We're going to continue to check in with you. Good insight into what it's like to be in one of these clinical trials. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.